Hello people YouTube, it is I, Super Mariozilla, or you can call me Vinny, and today we are going to take a look at the Mezco 1/12 Collective, Mezco Exclusive, Spider-Man Homecoming Homemade Suit, Spider-Man. Yeah, that's a long title. This version of Spider-Man technically first appeared in Captain America Civil War, but we didn't get a full look until Spider-Man Homecoming. This is the homemade version of the Spider-Man suit, which looks pretty cool, and definitely gives a Scarlet Spider vibe. The figure was revealed at New York Toy Fair of 2018, but at the end of the year of 2018, this figure was announced as a Mezco exclusive, which essentially fucked collectors since this figure was never revealed to be an exclusive. Yeah, thanks guys. Regardless of the status, is this figure still a good one? Will it be worth hunting down? Well, we're here to find out. Let's get started. Most of the look comes from the cloth, which looks fantastic. This is by far the most realistic 6-inch homemade suit Spidey we have to date. The cloth aesthetic really helps this guy out. There is one issue, but it's not too bad since you can't really see it unless you look up close. Taking a closer look, the head looks fantastic. The red color is a bright red and the stitching on the middle is visible and can be seen well despite it being a sculpt. The eye lenses have a goggle-like sculpt and the paint is decent. The clothes has a really nice color and contrast. The blue is a light blue, as it should be, and the jacket has details that were not overlooked. We get 2 strings coming out of the hood, which is accurate, and the pockets are just stitched rectangles, which is not necessarily accurate, but given the 6-inch size, it's kind of understandable. The logo has red peeking through, just like the actual suit, so it looks like Peter did draw it on with a marker or something. The zipper in the middle is also present, which is a good thing. Unfortunately, not functional. The arms are skinny, but some muscles are still present under the clothes. The web shooters have a mechanical-like sculpt, the paint is clean and have silver blocks around it. The web lining on the gloves are a bit iffy, wish it was a bit better. The legs are skinny but still muscular, just like Spider-Man in the movie, but remember the issue I mentioned? The red from the clothes flakes off on the blue parts of the clothing. Yeah, that's not very good. Granted, you can't notice this from afar, but it's still worth mentioning. The socks are stitched to the pants on the sides, which is something collectors will definitely notice if they demand 100% accuracy. It's understandable why this is, but it's still something to point out. The actual look of the socks still looks like socks. The shoes are also well done. The soles are a nice satin black. The red of the shoes are the same red as the mask. This figure looks fantastic, and the cloth aesthetic really makes him look a lot more realistic.
Spider-Man's articulation is definitely a lot better than most of the other Mezcos because he's a much more agile character, so that's definitely a good thing, so let's go over it. Head is on a double ball peg, can look pretty much this high up, this far down, move side to side, lean side to side. The neck is also on a ball joint, so combined can move this high up and this far down. The hoodie is also functional, if you saw at the beginning of the video, so that's pretty cool. These strings, they're in the hoodie, and they're gonna actually slide in and out, so try not to accidentally, slide the whole string out, otherwise I imagine it'd be a nightmare to put it back through the hood, so do be mindful of that. Arms can rotate this high. Swivel hinge, he can move more than 90 degrees, so that's definitely a good thing. Biceps can swivel. The double-jointed elbows can move way more than 90 degrees, so that's pretty good. The web shooters, the gauntlets here, can also swivel, but I don't recommend swiveling it too much, because technically the cloth is technically tucked into it, so yeah, you don't want to mess that up. Hand is on a swivel hinge, so ball joint movement. Waist can swivel. Lean, and he can crunch forward about this far, which is not the best for Spider-Man, but for a Mezco, it's okay. And he can crunch back about this far, which again, for Spider-Man is a bit of a problem, but for the average Mezco, it's definitely decent. Legs can kick forward about this far forward, about 90 degrees. Can kick back just about this far. He can also Jean-Claude Van Damme it, so that's definitely a good thing. However, I think it may have ripped the cloth slightly, so do be mindful of that. Thighs can swivel. Double hinged knees, way more than 90 degrees, so that's definitely a good thing. No boot swivel. And we have ball jointed ankles. Ankles can move back about this far, can move forward about this far, which back movement pretty good. Forward movement not so much, but the ankle rocker is solid. Love me some ankle rocker like that. That's pretty good. So, if you were hoping for Spider-Man to be as articulated as any other Spider-Man figure would be, you're going to have to deal with some limitations, but for the most part, this figure is pretty good. So, the posing game can be strong with the Spider-Man, which is good. So that means Mezco did not cheap out just because, Mezcos are not meant to be, high-end posable. Still though, despite that, articulation, solid.
Spidey stands just about 6 inches and a quarter of an inch tall. Here are the comparisons. Here he is with the Marvel Legends Black Panther and Black Bolt. Here he is with the Marvel Legends MCU Hydra Soldier and Demolition Man. Here he is with the Marvel Legends Mr. Fantastic and Captain Britain. Here he is with the Marvel Legends Wolverine and Iron Man. And finally, here he is with the Mezco Deadpool and Doctor Strange. Spidey is shorter than most of the other Mezcos, which is a good thing since Peter is still technically a teen in the MCU, so size will get a pass. Time for accessories, and I have a major gripe with 2 of them, but most of them are pretty cool stuff. First is the Mezco display base that has the homemade Spider logo on it. I wish it didn't look so digitized. Kinda feels like they just cheaply printed it on there. Here is Spider-Man on the foot peg, and now here he is on the Mezco arm. Next is a clamp with a magnet, so if you want Spider-Man on your fridge, then there you go. For the heads, he comes with the masked head that was on him in the package. And finally, we get an unmasked Peter Parker head. Don't know what took Mezco so damn long. Tom Holland's likeness is captured wonderfully on here. The paint is excellent, looks like human skin, and the hair is not shiny like the Figuarts figures. I will admit at some angles it doesn't completely resemble the actor, but at least it mostly does. So you can still tell this is Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Interchanging the heads is easy. Just pop off the masked head from the neck and pop the unmasked head in the big ball joint in the chest. For the hands, he comes with 2 fist hands that were on him in the package. Next are 2 thwipping hands. These 2 hands have indents to attach the webs. Next is 1 wall crawling hand for the right and 1 stylized posed hand for the left. And here's my first major gripe. Why don't we get 2 of each? This figure was $85 and you're telling me they are still so damn cheap that they did not give us 2 of each hand? Next is 1 gripping hand, 40 web on the right. Here's my second major gripe. Why is it just the 1? The previous Spider-Man figures gave us 2 gripping hands, and now they just decided not to? Oh, was it because they were too afraid of upping the cost a few cents more? For the webs, we get the 1 web with a cup kind of end, and 1 web that ends with a sort of ball. To use, you just have to put the whole end of the web into the indent of the thwipping hand, pop the hand on with the web in, and that's it. Easy as pie. Lastly, a posable web line for swinging. The web can bend into any shape you want. Pretty cool. To use, you just have to shove it into the gripping hand, which is a bit hard to do because the hand refuses to open, so try your best not to break anything or damage any plastic molecules. Accessories are good with the exception of the hands. It's so inconsistent. Not a big deal, but it is something to mention. So, buy or don't buy because Mezco loves to fuck us sideways by making the good stuff exclusives. Well, if it wasn't obvious, this figure is pretty damn good. Almost everything you would want from a 6-inch Spider-Man. The cloth definitely helps with the realism. In fact, this figure looks almost like a 6-inch Hot Toy. That's how good the looks are. Obviously, the figure has issues, but the issues I mentioned are only minor. Any Spider-Man fan will get mileage out of this figure. However, good luck finding it because it's a Mezco exclusive, and we all know how expensive those things tend to get. Try not to pay more than $130. If you do end up paying more than the MSRP, lower your expectations and you'll have a blast with this figure. I'll give Spidey a 9 out of 10. Well, that's it. Thanks guys and gals so much for watching. If you liked this video, hit that like button. If you would like to be updated on when new videos goes up, be sure to subscribe. If you want to be notified when new videos go live, be sure to hit that bell icon. And if you want some behind the scenes stuff, be sure to follow me on Instagram. Link to it is down below. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.